think it's entirely too long. When my oldest was in kindergarten, maybe first grade too, they only got like a half day off Wednesday and then Thursday and Friday. It wasn't until the last, 15 years, 20 years, whatever it is, 15 years that we get the whole week off. I think it's a bit long, but I get if you're traveling, which we have done sometimes on Thanksgiving, most of the time we're in the Houston area or we're hosting ourselves, that you need a week. But with kids, it's a long time.
Yeah, sorry. You get your kids back. You know what? I think it has to do
take them.
It has to do with attendance. So I think that for a while they noticed that students weren't just missing Thursday and Friday; they were missing that whole week. So to appease everybody, I don't think it's long enough, personally.
Why does your hair look extra curly? Does it look different?
On some days I just put mousse in, and hi Chef Stu, and I just let myself go.
I like it. Hi, Chef Stu. How are you? It's Friday, so he's not working. Yay. Well, I assume he's not. I guess he could be doing a job.
Yes.
A chef job. Anyways, well, happy Friday. Welcome back to Jeff Lewis Obsessed, where we recap Jeff Lewis live every weekday. I'm Sarah in Texas.
And I'm Kelly in California.
Hello, and you just took a nap. So today was Patrik and Pol and Megan. Right out of the gate, Jeff had to ask everybody to kind of tone it down because everybody was talking over each other. From then on out, I think it went really well. What did you think?
I didn't. Oh, he's going to dinner. Yum.
With who?
I know. Now I was like, don't say with who, but now I know.
Jeff hasn't been talking about you enough, so we need some details. But I understand y'all are probably deciding to tone down the details, and we totally get that. But we're so curious.
At first, I didn't notice when Jeff said they were all stepping on each other, like talking. I didn't notice that. So when he said it, I was like, oh, everybody must be really Jenny.
What?
Did you see what Jenny said?
No. What? Is Claudia coming to dinner? That's actually funny. Oh my God. Remember how we used to have lunches with Thomas and Jeff would get upset?
Yes.
So wouldn't it be,
yeah.
Okay, never mind, Stu. It wouldn't be a good idea.
Yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. I was really glad.
We want Claudia and Monroe to have dinner.
Yes. Well, I would like Claudia and Stu to have dinner. I just don't think that's probably the most appropriate thing to be doing with all the
shenanigans going on right now.
This is a shitstorm coming through. Hey, I'm a shitstorm. Sorry.
Exactly. What side plate? Did he post something that I missed?
I didn't get to see.
Macaroni and cheese? That looks delicious, by the way.
Oh, I know.
Was that on his regular or his subscription? Regular? Yeah, because he posted on TikTok. So if you haven't checked out his Chef Stu's feed lately, check out. He's been posting lots of recipes, actually. Yeah. Of course, the stuffing or dressing, whichever you want to call it. He did a mac and cheese.
Chickens. Did he do chicken salad? He did chicken salad.
Yeah. Oh, did you end up making that?
I made the chicken salad and the chicken patties this week, and Tyler loved them both. So I was like,
oh, good. Anybody like male strippers here? I think you're in the wrong Instagram Live.
No, not really.
I'm not here to be shadow banned forever. I'm trying to get out of shadow ban.
That is crazy. I cannot believe that Instagram is now cutting back on people cussing.
I mean, literally, that's the only thing that Stu can think. I think he got didn't Jeff say he got in trouble for saying the F word or something?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, Red. I saw the TiVo ad and I'm so confused.
Why are you confused?
Do you think he really bought the TiVos on his own and they heard him talk about it and then they're like, we're going to give him stuff? You think from the very beginning when he first started?
Oh, he made it clear that he was doing an ad for them weeks ago. Yeah. And they sent him them and they needed to make the video, but they had thrown the boxes out. So they had to mail them new boxes because they needed a shot of it opening it up. So
I just think it's kind of so strange. Like, why TiVo's so antiquated? Like, I haven't heard about it in years. So I don't understand how.
Well, I think they reached out to him because Jeff watches a lot of TV. He's got a lot of influence. Speaking of influence, we'll talk about this in a second, but Zach Noe Towers is doing an Ask Me Anything, and like, bam, 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 all these Jeff Lewis fans are coming at him with questions. It's kind of funny.
Oh,
so
shoot.
I love it because you and I were fans of his from day one.
Yes.
But, you know, he's kind of warming up to people. People are warming up to him. Right. But it's like all of his Ask Me Anythings are all these Jeff Lewis fans asking him questions. He's like, well, this has kind of turned into a Jeff Lewis Live Ask Me Anything.
I have to go back and look at it. See what happens when I fall asleep for 2 hours. I miss everything.
Yeah, so check out Zach Noe Towers. And Stu, I don't know if he's still on, but part of his ban from Instagram, the way he got in trouble, because I get in trouble, they take away my Instagram lives, that I can't start those. And then they, of course, shadow ban me. But what they did to him, I think, is they said that he couldn't get new subscribers for a month. So I know people were DMing me yesterday and the day before trying to subscribe to him, and they don't have that button show up on his profile anymore. So that's how they got him in trouble or whatever. I
don't feel like they should be able to do that. If that's like,
why would they want to do that? Don't they get money from that too? Probably.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like with Jeff, like bury his stuff. That's a punishment. But I mean, I just think that's crazy. And like with you with the lives, like they're like, what's going to hurt him the most?
Do you really think they even know? I literally have 3 listeners, 3 followers, and they're going to know me personally. Like what would make me that's so weird. I wonder if everybody that has a subscription like Chef Stu does, if that's the first thing they take away. But again, why would you want to? That's messing with Instagram. That's messing with people coming to Instagram. It just seems like you're shooting yourself in the foot. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. I don't know what's happened in the last 6 months with Instagram, but they're just doing a nosedive.
Yeah. If anyone knows anything about shadow banning, hit us up. We'd love to know more information because it seems super random. The stuff I get in trouble for is so stupid. And then there'll be pure straight up nudity on Instagram, or people DM me crazy sex stuff. And I'm and their profiles and their pictures are usually super gross. And I'm like, okay, how are you not getting in trouble? Seriously?
What are they DMing you sex stuff? What do you mean?
Not sex stuff, but you can tell looking at their profile. It'll say looking for a man. I mean,
yeah.
It's more graphic than that, but their profile stuff is very clear. Or they'll just say hi, and I'm like, oh my God, gross.
Stop.
They say a lot more than hi, but my point is, I just have a freaking fan account for Jeff Lewis. What the fuck? Who cares? I didn't do it, Wendy said. Anyways, I love straight out the gate talking about Snow White 90210, that he never gets on the floor. We can attest to that. We were at the Amazon launch party for 4 or 5 hours. That dog was never out of anyone's arms. I never saw her pee. Did you ever see her pee or eat?
No, and
Did she ever eat?
No, it was they had a little puppet, an animate object, and every once in a while you just see it go.
It's like Jill Zarin's Bossy. It just never moves. It's it's always drugged. But we can attest because each of us held 90210. You said a bad word now. Oh, I don't get in trouble for Instagram lives. I get in trouble for my stories. Because they actually, when you get in trouble, they send you what you got in trouble for. They tell you what you got in trouble for. And it's always stupid. Anyways, but she didn't try to snip at you, but she did try to snip at me. I think she's tried to snip a lot of people because she even tried to snip at Shane. Shane said, remember that she was a little bitch or something? He was just joking about her.
She's a little bitch, but he's a bigger bitch. So I can understand why she'd snip at him. What did he say? He said something to Megan. Pol did, which I couldn't believe. He's like, well, she didn't like the fat you or something. I was like, oh my God. Megan's never been chubby.
No, they were feisty today, but I did love how they prefaced it saying they do that because they are really good friends with them. You know what I mean? So that's the only reason they were saying it. And so,
you know what's crazy? I still trip out on the fact because being a teacher is hard. It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work outside of school. You're tired. It takes up your life. So it's so strange to hear that Pol is a full-time teacher at a high school, and he also runs that business. I know Patrik does a lot, but you're fucking tired. And that little man, he has got energy.
I know. So is Patrik older than him?
I don't know. I wouldn't even about the same.
They both have a lot of energy. We see that. We follow them on Instagram. They are always out and about, and they're really good, true friends. The first time I ever heard of them was on the TV documentary show with Anna Nicole Smith.
Right.
Because they were friends with him. So there's some backstory to that we won't really get into. I think they're trying to do a movie or something. Mm-hmm. But even today, they were talking about they actually go to Adrienne Malouf's house for Thanksgiving. That means they're not just casual friends. They're,
No, absolutely. And even like when we've seen them on Instagram and they're going out at night, I'm like, that's a school night. Like,
I know.
And you know that
are funny. And they do that show, Gown and Out in Beverly Hills. They just finished filming season 4.
And Pol is the type of teacher, he doesn't just go in looking like this. He's got his hair spiked. He's got his jewelry on. He's all styled. And I'm like, he must get up at 5 a.m. just to get ready to get to school.
And does he work in Hollywood? Do we know what school he works? Not that we need to say, but I'm saying I think he drives in from home. Like they don't live all in the same area, right? So he's got a jaunt to and from work.
Exactly. He lives in Tahunga, which is like, I don't even know where that's at. I've just heard of it. But from interior therapy, when they were on it, made it look like they were, pretty far out of the city.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and you could kind of see whenever they did their house that they had a lot of land or, it wasn't like a super developed area. So it looked like they were out in kind of the boonies more.
BFE.
Very interesting. I kind of wanted Megan or somebody to post a picture of this hot motorcycle guy. Even if they just did his, put a heart over his face. I think she has a bad boy guy. Is that what she likes?
Duh. That's why Jeff was like, I can tell you her type. It doesn't look like Ben. Ben's handsome and he's just very straight and narrow. But I think there's a dirty, hitchhiking, seedy part of Megan that just loves that danger and just wants to jump on the back of that bike.
I would love to hear about Megan's age 14 to 24. I would love, I could watch a whole documentary on just those years right there.
Absolutely. And she even talked about being a model when she was younger. So, she was how tall is she? She's taller than I am. I'm 5'8" or 5'9", 5'10". She's probably 6 feet. I would love to see old modeling pictures of her. She really is gorgeous.
True. I don't think we have.
No. And I'm really curious because, I have to look back at the photo. Can you tell that she's lost 9 pounds in the coffee pick?
Honestly, 9 pounds is a lot for her because she's super thin already and she's very tall and narrow. Yeah. She's not like where
you don't have a lot to lose.
She's ever had a belly or big boobies. You know what I mean?
Or butt. Yeah, it's where they.
Yeah. So I really couldn't tell 9 pounds in the black denim jeans.
Okay, I got to go back.
But I don't think her top was all that form fitting, so I don't think we could see.
Yeah, because it's like, where are you taking 9 pounds from?
I know. Well, and don't you feel like everyone loses weight in the first places? I have friends that judge it by their boobs. I judge mine by my belly. I can tell if I've lost weight by my belly.
Well, people have told me, I can see it in your face, and I agree. I think
mine too.
You can see it in her face that she looks more snatched, but... Okay,
so I didn't really look at that, but she also said she's not really drinking alcohol, and she's always said that alcohol makes her puffy, so...
And I think that is a big reason for the weight loss.
It's helping her like crazy, and sleep, energy, she's not hangry, she's not drinking alcohol. Wow.
But what about what Jeff said that now he's like, because honestly, I constantly have low-grade nausea. I constantly have anxiety, so I always kind of feel like, my tummy hurts. And I was just surprised to hear him say, I don't know if I could do that. Today he seemed like, I don't know.
Well, no, and that's all he talks about is food. We've seen that from Flipping Out. Every show was about their lunch and his order and what he was going to eat. He never really talks about breakfast. It always seems like he's kind of a smoothie, quick guy in the morning. But lunch is a huge deal to him. And then it seems like drinks and socializing is his dinner. You know what I mean? He doesn't seem like he's really into ordering this huge meal every night.
Right. But I've heard him talk about in the morning he really likes bacon. I think he always has the same thing. Bacon, orange juice, and probably toast.
Yeah.
How do we know this? How do we know this about this man? So weird.
What don't Jeff Lewis fans know about this guy? Literally, we know the size of his bladder. We know the lunch places he likes to eat at. He tells us everything, and we're here for it.
I just feel...
Is there anything you don't know about Jeff that you want to know about Jeff? DM, and he'll probably tell you.
I totally agree with Alyssa. Give that bitch a panty liner because nobody has to go I'm sorry,
How can a man Can a man have a diaper? Ew, I guess so, because their wiener's like pointed up, though.
Well, you can point it back down. You can point to the side. You can go to the side, left, right.
Is Frucky on here? Where's our men in here?
Yeah,
we need someone to tell us about wieners and pee.
But even when a little baby boy has a diaper.
Yeah, but that's, I mean.
Come on, we're talking about Jeff. Sorry, Jeff.
Oh my goodness. Okay, this crotch picture of Patrik that he got in trouble for. I remembered when they went to Costa Rica and they were posting all those pictures. And now I was totally trying to think, did I get to see his crotch before Instagram made him take it down? Like, I don't remember that.
Well, have you found the other? I didn't even think to go look, but is the other one posted? He said, if you see it, there's a square taken out of my crotch.
No, but all I remember him saying was he had like a grid where you have like 9 pictures. You know what I mean? So I tried to look back to see if there was like one that was multiple pictures, because I thought he said that one was just taken out of there.
Yeah.
Instagram is a little too hands-on. I totally respect social media. I know. Where is Fluffy? We don't know. We need to DM him and see if he's okay.
Fluffy.
Sometimes he goes off Instagram and just takes a little breather. So he tells us about it.
I talk to him every maybe 3 or 4 days. He said he's taking a break. He's very involved with like political stuff right now. He's just focused on that. So
yeah. So we love Fluffy. So maybe he watches on the replay. He's so funny with his comments, though. By the way, if you're brand new, we adore you. Welcome. We love comments. And if you ever want to hit the question button at the bottom, that comes to us privately. So then we can either say, if you want to say it publicly, just put it in the comments. If you ever want to say it, hi, shout out. I live in Texas and Kelly's in California. And we met at the Jeff Lewis live show last year in Burbank. So we've got a little intro on our Spotify, Jeff Lewis Obsessed podcast. But it's like 6 minutes. It kind of explains where we met and all that. But if you look down our grid, it'll kind of give you the story of us.
Yes. And that's how we met. And we've been best friends, best Jeff Lewis live buddy friends since then. We talk a million times a day, except today when I was unconscious for 2 hours.
I know, she was literally napping. I'm like, are you okay? Like, all she did was like do a ha-ha to this TikTok I sent her.
Oh my God, you are so gross. You are not allowed on TikTok. But how funny would that be if you were in a stall next to like Jameson or Jeff?
Oh my God, I thought of Jeff doing it to Jameson or Jameson doing it to Jeff. I'm going to send that to Jameson.
Don't watch anybody. Don't tell them. You know what's
funny? Do not tell Jeff.
Is like a couple of years ago, I don't remember, like when COVID first started, somebody took a video of them in studio, and I know you've seen it before, where Doug pretends to sneeze on Jameson.
Yeah.
Have you seen that?
I don't know.
He's like walking behind Jameson, and he went, chew, but he like sprayed something, and the face that Jameson, you just gotta say, I'll find it.
Yeah, find it. Yes, that's a hilarious TikTok, though. I'm going to send that to Jameson to do on Jeff. He would die. And Jeff loves going on these group potty breaks. So
somebody asked, they tuned in because they listened late to yesterday's show with the text and everything. If you are just listening to that show from yesterday, it was heavy. It was dark. It was crazy. And so
was our recap. We were all very emotional.
Yes, go rewatch it. It's on my Instagram page, but that's why I think it was important to have Pol and Patrik here, because it was so heavy yesterday.
Fun Friday, for sure.
Yeah.
Somebody just said something about an article. I have seen, Kelly and I are only in one of the 3 main Jeff Lewis groups. One we got ourselves out of. One, you got yourself out of that one. And another one kicked me out.
And me too.
Sayonara. And anyways, but we have seen that article talking about Jeff's mom and her coworkers that were like raising money for her when she was sick at the end. If that's the article you're talking about, we have seen it. So
that was a hard
if it's a different one, though, DM it to us, and we'd love to read it. So crazy. My dad can get like that too. Poor Jeff. He's being healthy about it.
You know, I think you haven't experienced that, but have you always had a really good relationship with your parents? Like you never
I really have. I was DMing with someone today, and she agreed. I said, now that I'm 49 years old, I realize now I had an abnormally normal childhood. Yeah. Like now I realize how abnormal it was, But I literally remember to this day, the first friend of mine that her parents got a divorce. I mean, even when I grew up, none of my close friends' parents divorced. There's one divorce I can think of in my entire family. And my dad was the oldest of 12. And this was actually my mom's brother who divorced, and they raised their 2 daughters their whole life, like just fine. He was at Christmas. They were at,
it really
very abnormally normal childhood.
Yeah, because I'm looking at comments, and it's like, me too had issues. I mean, if
parents can definitely fuck you up. Any parent that comes at you or family member, you know what I mean? If anyone you love, that's what it is. It boils down to, we get haters. I mean, it's kind of, if they're funny, it's funny, but they don't really get to me because I don't know them. I don't care about them. You know what I mean? They don't know me. So, but family that can really mess you up.
Yeah. He didn't talk about it much today. I feel like just a little bit, but yeah, I don't know how they're going to come back from that, especially since Thanksgiving is Thursday.
I know. I am curious. It almost did sound like today, though, like even Megan said something about them being alcohol, or did she use the word alcoholic or addict?
She did.
Did
she
use the word
said
addict?
Alcoholic, and Jeff was like, stop. Don't give them any.
Don't give any fuel to my dad's fire.
Yeah.
So it does seem like he is. This is Jeff. How can he be this way? He can be the ultimate forgiver. Like, he really can go back and forgive people. Like, he talks about recycling relationships, recycling friendships. But he can also be really harsh. And I think these books that he ordered is saying he's trying to not be so harsh. What did you think about the books?
No more Mr. Nice Guy. I was like, sir, when were you nice guy? Because if you're going to read no more Mr. Nice Guy, you're going to turn into a serial killer because you were never Mr. Nice Guy.
Okay, didn't you love that? I forget who it was. Pol Patrik was thinking that he was going to turn nice. And he was like, oh, no, I'm no more Mr. Nice Guy. I'm going to be mean from now on. And I think they were like, oh, that's not how we expected this to go along.
Yeah.
He forgives but doesn't forget. I think you're right.
He's not Jesus. He is not Jesus. Jesus forgives and forgets, but not Jeff Lewis. That's what I was going to say. Even though he can come around and like repair a relationship, Scott, Gage, whoever, family, I feel like he still holds on.
Not Jenny yet.
Yeah, and I don't blame him. Like, it's really hard when someone like just cuts you to your core to ever truly let that go. If people are able to do that, hats off. I think that stays like a bruise on my heart. You know what I mean?
Jeff actually does seem like he can do that. Like, he's had some pretty deep,
I don't know,
friendship things, relationship things, and he does seem like he's come back from that. So,
do you don't think he holds it over their head? I feel like they're always still kind of a little bit in the shit house.
I think it would take some serious talking because he's got to realize, does she really feel that way about him? And if she does, why?
Yeah.
Like, those are some pretty cutting things that she said.
That was my whole point yesterday. It's like, this has nothing to do with Stu or anything else. Claudia's upset about something outside of that because you wouldn't have that much of a strong reaction otherwise.
Well, and that's why Jeff is not upset with Stu about it, because even though he realizes that Carrie was going back to Jeff and telling him stuff, I feel like Stu was in a horrible situation because I feel like that would be such terrible news to have to go back and tell Jeff.
Yeah.
That somebody said about him. Like, that's just awful. So he was in a, you can't, what's that saying? You can't do something right, can't win, can't lose.
Damned if you do, damned if you don't.
That right there. But enough about that. We talked a lot about that last night on our Instagram Live.
Go back
which is always, our replays are on YouTube channel, our Spotify, and our Instagram, obviously under Jeff Lewis Obsessed. And they're always there. The doorbell ringing with Aurora. At first, I thought he was going to go off, but then he came back with, no, she is the sweetest, most nice. She would never do it. I love that he said that about her.
Yeah, because she probably is a saint. She works for Jeff. But I'm like, but there is a part of me that's like, Aurora, come on. He's grumpy. You should text him first and say, I think I forgot. So I was like, But this is my thing. As being a teacher and seeing students struggle to learn things, if they're afraid, they really can't learn. I think every time Aurora goes to the door or gets out of her car, she's overflooded with like fear and like, don't fuck up. And then she fucks up.
Yeah. Well, and I think Jeff, his only concern is Monroe waking up too early for school, right?
I don't blame him.
Every parent wants their kid to sleep to the last second that they can, especially since Jeff wakes up and he actually gets his day started.
Yes.
And he's like working at the kitchen table, he said. So
he needs that time before Monroe gets up. So yeah.
I think he wakes up and hits the ground running. And that's really his 1 hour or however long it is that he really gets a lot of crap done.
Speaking of running.
And then he's old, so he takes a nap in the afternoon. But that's what the watcher says.
Well, I take a nap. Speaking of running, I was like in the TiVo ad. I was like, okay, bitch, you're bending over and running and picking up a package?
You're okay, I texted you about this already.
Oh my gosh, I saw it. I was like.
Were you surprised they left that in the edit? I was surprised they didn't redo it.
I surprised
Tell everybody what I'm talking about.
Okay, so in the TiVo ad, Jeff stands up at the very beginning from the chair, turns around, and he's got his sweater, his whatever he's wearing, halfway up his back. His pants are like halfway down. I'm like, okay. And then he goes out to grab the package. Same thing again. You like see his like whole back exposed. And I was like, I even put a message. I said, I can now envision you with a tramp stamp, because that would have been perfect if he had a tramp stamp right on the back to show his lower back. It was a little strange. Maybe they had to put it out quick.
I was just surprised that they left that in. Like, I'm such a detail person. Like, I can spot details, you know that, on anything. So when I saw his back, and I thought, okay, they left it in because he's running out quickly and going to the whatever. When you bend over, you're automatically, if your sweater's not long enough, you know how he kind of teases Stu about ordering the same size as clothes as Shane? See,
I have a theory.
Other people noticed it too.
I have a theory.
We're not the only ones that noticed it. Thank you.
In fact, watching Flipping Out, I always saw Jeff adjust the back. Like, that's one of his little things that I've always seen him do.
He does.
This is my theory. Because he was acting, his brain was not, like, in its normal, like, fix all your shit. And so he just got up and ran. Yeah. And then his ass was hanging out.
I'm here for it, though. I'm totally here for it. Oh, my God. If they would have put a fake tattoo on there.
Oh, my gosh. Or just Jeff Lewis Live, or I Love Doug.
Oh, my God. I love it, Jeff. JLL.
Yes. The ad, Jane, is on Jeff's. If you go to his Instagram page and look at one of his posts, it's a TiVo ad. It's pretty cute. It's funny.
Okay, but props to TiVo, because ever since he's talked about it, I thought TiVo was like this, like you said, antiquated word for not using the word DVR, because for years my parents had TiVo, and that was the brand on the front of the DirecTV recorder. And then we've had those gone for forever. But TiVo is apparently either coming back or it's always been around, and they've got this new thing that seems kind of like a what do you call that plug-in thing?
Roku.
Yeah, there's another one too, but
Fire Stick.
It seems like one of those type things, right? It seems really easy to use, though.
Well, I was wondering. I was like, okay, so if I have cable, I already have TiVo added in cable where I can record shows and don't have to watch it. Yeah. So I don't really understand why you would have to get a TiVo, other than it might play. I just don't understand why you would need it.
I almost feel like these take the place. These are things that people have in place of satellite or cable, but I don't know.
Okay, that's that.
But you know what? It's only $29.99, and I'm assuming there's no monthly fee. So that is something where they need to explain that. Otherwise, there's people like us that don't. No, they put one in the car, but it's for the house also. They just added it to the car because it had Wi-Fi also. Yeah,
because I have a Roku Fire Stick. I think I bought it off Amazon, $39.99. So yeah, TiVo's cheaper. It's $29.99.
Yeah. So if anyone's in the market, go to his commercial and it said something about November 22nd, which is next
couple days away.
Tuesday.
Today's the 18th.
Tuesday?
So yeah. TiVo now has streaming apps like Netflix, Hulu, etc., like a Fire Stick. Oh, okay.
Oh, so they have TV shows on it stuff. Oh my God. Okay. I'm kind of over having to do so many different streaming things, though. There's so many things I can't even remember where it's at. Like, they need to do something where they all get in each other's pockets, and the consumer, I know they're all going to get their own money. The consumer can buy a big group of them, and then they have access to all of them with one username and one password for everything.
That's called cable.
I think I've got a business idea.
That's called cable. That's what it used to be. You didn't have to have all these
but it's not that anymore. We know that.
I know that's what
I had DirecTV. Yeah.
I have Hulu to watch live TV, $80. I have cable
you
for
can
my
watch
internet.
the YouTube through it. Yeah.
Yeah, I have HBO separate, Netflix. I mean, it's like I'm still probably paying way too much for TV.
Right. Literally.
Somebody said on one of the comments, though, for the TiVo ad, that when he was like, a image came up of Barbarian. Did you see that, or am I crazy?
Yeah.
Okay,
well, when he's flipping through all the movies that he's watching, they're all scary movies. The Vow, Halloween Ends, Barbarian.
Thank you, Wendy. Wendy said you can watch your recap on YouTube. Yes, you can.
Yes, you can. And our YouTube has the comments on it.
Yes.
Nowhere else allows us to have the comments. What I have to do is I have to record it, you know.
And let's just say, still to this day, fuck you, Tina.
I'm Tina. When was that, earlier this week?
Yes. Remember how Bye Felicia was a thing? Now it's like, fuck you, Tina.
Fuck you, Tina.
Yes.
I love it. So next week, he will be, again, another mysterious trip to Dallas with Leah Black. What is up with that?
But he called it a business trip today. And I don't know if I've ever heard him say that, because he was talking about Kian sharing a room with Shane. So
which is weird.
Getting
separate rooms.
It has to be Jeff Lewis related, because why would you need your media guy there?
I know. Unless he just needs two twinks to fly with him. I mean, Kian's not technically a twink. He's bigger than a twink, and he's not gay.
Exactly.
So but that disqualifies him from being a twink.
Yes. But I feel like that was a big clue, because it's like, why would Kian have to go? He's your media guy. So it must have...
We don't know. Anyway, so Monday is Leah Black. Tuesday, Heather McDonald and Zach Noe Towers. Now, weren't they supposed to be on together at one point, and somebody's schedule and he went on with someone else, and we thought that was a good thing?
No, he has been
being with MJ. He's
been with MJ, but he also was on in the past with Heather.
Oh, he was, and it went well?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Okay, I can't remember. The TiVo ad can be seen on Jeff's Instagram, JL Jeff Lewis, on his grid. And on my story. Did you put it on your story, I'm sure?
Not yet. I was sleeping.
When she wakes up, she'll put it on her story. And we, of course, do fan accounts. So most everything we post is about Jeff Lewis or Bravo-related type stuff.
Yeah, I'm looking for a way to add a tramp stamp. So we'll see what happens.
You want a tramp stamp on your back?
No. On Jeff Lewis.
What are you talking about?
I'm trying to figure out how to add a tramp stamp to the video of Jeff's ad so it times in perfectly and pops up on his lower back. By the way, can I tell you that
there are graphic people that know how to do that, but I don't know how to do that. But yeah.
My daughter, she might be listening. She just got a tramp stamp.
Does it say enter here?
No, I would fucking scrub that shit off. No, it's a butterfly.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
My daughter wants a second tattoo. She might have already gotten one and just not told us. I think she tells us because she wants us to pay for it.
Oh.
I mean,
convenient.
My kids want us to pay for everything, don't they?
Yes. Oh, she just heard me. She came in and looked. Did you see that?
We hear you. She gave you the look.
She did give me the look. I was like,
by the way, if you're new, our children hate us because we're
cool.
Because we're moms. Of course they hate us. Wednesday, Carney Wilson and Doug Buden. They're so cute together. Thursday, Thanksgiving, he's off. He had said he was going to record a show.
Yes.
A pre-tape a show, and he's not. I feel like Sirius probably frowns upon that. They don't want them recording in advance. Do you feel like they do?
No, because I feel like Amy Phillips has done that quite a few times.
Oh, she has?
Yeah. I think if they have to, they have to. I think Jeff probably was like, F them, I'm not going to do it. I don't know. Maybe he got tired or just all the family drama. He was like, no.
It doesn't bother me at all, but I don't think he realizes, because people have DM'd me about so many things in about this. When he says stuff, everyone hears it and they stick to it. So when he just stops, when he changes it, you know, they don't realize he already said that he was going to do a show. Now, I don't give a rat's ass, but there are people that DM me mostly about where he's going and when he's going somewhere. The main thing I think of was last Memorial Day, he was announcing that they were going to be at the Roundup in Dallas like it was his full-time job. I mean, it was literally announcing it. It's almost like CatCon. It was like, I'll be at CatCon around noon on Sunday. I'll be at CatCon, Pasadena Convention Center. I mean, it was like it was his job. And so he did show up to CatCon, we clearly know. But like the Roundup became a whole thing. And it was like people were DMing me because they wanted to meet up there.
Right.
And I was like, I don't know that he's coming. Then somebody from his camp DM'd me and said, hey, we're changing our mind. We're not going. Then someone else from the camp said, we are going. And then they ended up going. So I think he just changes his mind. Jeff's show is definitely 1 hour. There's been so much confusion about that because the way the lineup was released from Andy Cohen, it gave 10 to 12, but it's not 2 hours. It's identical. It's staying the same.
Is Dorinda staying on?
Yes.
Okay, good. Because I actually like Dorinda. She's great. I mean, I don't really like her producer team and how they don't interact with her enough. She needs some better people, but I like Dorinda. I think she's doing great.
Well, and I think she wants to interact with the producers.
That's
and like Adam was one of the producers, Adam and Corey, I think, and they just kind of like, I think they're too young and they're not into Housewives and they just don't feed her ego like she needs. She needs someone to like bring her up a level.
Yes. I think they're kind of like Ken where they're like, I don't want to be on.
Right. Maybe so.
Like, you need someone to really interact with them, like joke.
Which is fine. There's different producers for things. There's producers that want to be on air talent. There's producers that don't. They don't work well with her.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of surprised they haven't switched that out yet.
But you know what's weird? It's like you almost have to have, if you're a single host, like Dorinda, Michelle Collins, or whatever, you have to be able to interact with the producer.
Absolutely.
Because it's weird if they don't. Like if Amy Phillips was just talking by herself all the time and doing her impressions and Jameson and Alyssa were not a part of it, it would be weird.
Yeah. Because you can't have phone calls the whole time.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Real quick, December, he'll be in New York, December 5th to the 9th. He's going to have the Long Island Medium, Teresa Caputo on, Caroline Manzo, Tat Chastain, Dorinda Medley, and Margaret Josephs.
I'm looking forward to all of those except the Long Island.
I know. She's weird, but I have a feeling Jeff's going to be so into her because he's so into the Sherry the Psychic.
I will always love a guest he has and listens, so I know it'll be fun. Who knows what they'll do. I want to see what her hair looks like now. Remember, she always had the same hairdo? I hope she's updated.
She died.
Really?
When he said her name today, one of those people died. She had big boobs. No, I'm thinking of the bounty hunter's wife.
Yes.
But there was someone else that was a medium, a psychic, that I thought passed away or went to jail. I don't know.
Sounds juicy.
I don't know. Maybe she went to jail for a while. That would be so good. He needs to have someone on that's recently come out of jail because he's so fascinated by going to prison.
Yeah.
And so am I. Like, I totally want those questions answered. Like, Dolores worked too long ago as a prison guard, and she didn't do it for long enough. We need someone that's in the... who's about to go? Jen Shaw herself.
Oh, Sylvia Brown died. I was going to ask if it was Sylvia Brown.
Maybe I'm thinking of her. She died, girl. I love Monica. Monica hasn't been on a while.
No.
I'm on a tangent. What else do we need to talk about?
We're at 41 minutes, girl.
I know. Shit. The cruise to Croatia is not going to happen in 2024. I'm always surprised. It's Jeff ain't going on no damn cruise.
Oh, no, he's not going.
Megan and is it Kelly Dodd? that's with her.
But I don't understand. Is Croatia like a cruise ship kind of destination? Because to me, it doesn't seem like it.
I have no idea.
Croatia is
the waters pretty down there? What would be the waters?
I mean, I'm going to embarrass myself, but is that the USSR, which is no longer called the USSR? Croatia, or is that a European country? I don't know. I teach TK.
I don't know math, and I don't know geography.
I teach TK. We don't need to know these things, so I'm confused.
We can Google it. Water is lovely in Croatia. Okay, so that makes sense.
Thank you, Kay. Bring in the level.
I did like the jokes about no telling who he could be with by then, because 2024 is a long way away. Next week is a long way away. We don't know that Jeff and Stu, we hope they are, because most of us on here are huge Stu and Jeff fans and love them together. But 2024 is a long ways away. Oh, it's right above Italy.
Oh, my God. And I said,
Italy is not pretty.
Soviet Union. See, I don't know.
It's all in that area. I mean.
It's not here. That's all I know. It's not here. So everything's over there.
It's all over. Oh, Below Deck goes to Croatia?
Yes, that's true. They did go to Croatia.
Okay.
Why are there so many Below Deck shows?
They were talking. I was listening to Dames Who Dish, their podcast.
Shout out.
They gave us a shout out. It was very nice. We love Ann and Gina at Dames Who Dish. So listen to their podcast. In the beginning of it, they give a rundown of Jeff Lewis live stuff. Now they said something that was they were confused too about the Jeff Lewis being 2 hours. So I DM'd Ann and told her, and she actually made a story correcting it. But anyways, a lot of people were confused about that. But that's on Radio Andy's fault. The way they put that lineup out was very misleading.
Well, not only that, I feel like, I guess because the Jeff had
shout out Colleen.
That
my
Jeff
sister-in-law just got on.
Oh, hi. That Jeff said that his contract was supposed to be negotiated November 28th. So I think a lot of people thought, okay, then the changes are happening right away. But I think a lot of the changes aren't. Well, Michelle Collins left, though. So it was weird. It's like, is everything happening in January 2023? Or
no,
what?
Because Tinks came over immediately. Tinks is on. Tinks is on Wednesdays on Radio Andy. Immediately that Jess Cagle and them started Monday. And immediately John Hill and Andy Cohen went to 5 days a week, 1 hour. The only one I think is January is the delay is the Smith sisters.
Yeah, okay. But I think also the digital channel probably won't come out till then.
Yeah, I feel like he kind of mentioned it then.
Yeah.
That's the one we don't really know much about.
I can't wait. I just want to listen to all the old shows. Like
Gail started, yeah.
Yeah, yes. And I'm someone, I'm like Monroe, where she watches Enchanted 50 times, which is a great movie. I can listen to old Jeff Lewis.
You do.
Live. I can watch, I used to watch Flipping Out before I went to bed. I mean, it's just it's those weird things.
Yeah. If you haven't rewatched, or if you've never watched Flipping Out, you need to see it. You would totally get even more understanding of Jeff Lewis. And I never watched Interior Therapy until you told me to watch it. That gives you a whole other relationship of Jeff and Jenny. It's only 2 seasons, but it's so good. And I think it's on Amazon. Just, you can Google and figure out where it's at.
And before I forget, I feel like Jameson was like, oh, when you get your second Hollywood house lift, what was he talking about? He's like, you can show blah, 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 blah. Oh, he was
Adrian Malouf's house, was he saying? No. He was saying...
I feel like he wanted to redecorate a hospital. I don't remember. I was asleep almost.
Tell us in comments. Okay, do you want to wrap up music? By the way, if you're new, we do try to stick to around 35 to 37 minutes. We're going long tonight. I'm just being a blabbermouth.
We all yes, music today. So he's been doing a lot of remixes. So he had Closer, which is originally by the Chainsmokers and Halsey. Shout out. And he had When I'm Gone by Katy Perry and Alesso. I have to say that song, When I'm Gone, if you ever listen to it, it's a very good song. Remodel the Vegan Resort. That's what it was with Pol and Patrik.
Oh.
Thank you, Valerie.
Okay, I did feel bad when Megan and him were kind of doing that.
I know.
I felt bad because I think anytime somebody goes on a trip like that and posts about it a lot, it's probably sponsored 100% or at least partially.
Oh, I didn't think of that.
Well,
maybe.
It's always that kind of situation with famous celebrities. And I almost feel like they're promoting it because, like, I made a couple of stories about it. They would reshare it. You know what I mean? So I felt bad that they were kind of dogging the decor.
Well, not only that, like Jeff Lewis, like he says, he has an old man back. So, yeah, he cannot sleep on a mattress like this. He needs a thicker mattress. But here's my thing. Anytime anybody's like, you didn't even know it was vegan. I'm like, bitch, yes, you did know it was vegan. You cannot tell me that somebody's going to serve me some salmon. And I'm like, oh, my God, this is a jamming? No, I always
know. Eggs? Who's going to confuse me? I eat eggs probably 3 times a week, and I put the lovely seasoning on there. Who's going to confuse me with a fake egg? Ain't nobody confusing me with a fake egg.
Don't come in here with some tofu eggs. We know the difference.
I like tofu, but don't tell me it's not a real egg, and I'm not going to know it.
We're going to still put that lovely seasoning on the tofu, but don't tell me that it's eggs. It's not.
Anyways, watching Flipping Out is a lot. I binged all 11 seasons in the month of May, and it was like a full-time job.
A good job.
A great job. A great job.
Bacon is not bacon. Susie?
Bacon is not bacon.
Thank you.
And turkey bacon is decent, but it ain't the same.
It ain't. You know what's actually good is turkey sausage. Because I have so many prices that you can kind of get away with it. But, bitch, come on. I know my eggs. I know my salmon.
But that's still at least real meat.
I love real meat.
Oh, yeah? You do? Been a while, huh?
Been a long time. Trump administration. Damn.
Oh, damn. Well, thank you, Chumpette. Shout out to everyone for joining us. We will see you back Monday with, who did I say was on? Oh, Leah Black.
Yes, Dallas, the mystery trip.
Dallas trip.
Shane and Kian in a bedroom or in a hotel room.
I still have so many questions about that. Is Jeff trying to save money or what? That's so weird.
I don't know.
Shane and 2 grown-ass men don't want to share a bedroom, a hotel room?
I think it's because they didn't want to, or Jeff, I think Kian was an add-on at the last minute. And there's
a hotel room. It's Monday of Thanksgiving. That hotel ain't booked. If it was Wednesday night of Thanksgiving week, I totally understand, but not Monday. He's got $400 to $500 for a hotel room.
Oh, my God.
It's probably more than that.
I know.
He probably spends $800 a night.
Go to Dallas, Susie. If he's going to be there, I would just be like, I wonder if they're going to go to the roundup. They might even go.
I know. They didn't mention DM Shane. Although people are telling me that Shane doesn't really respond to DMs as much anymore. I don't know. I don't really DM Shane very much.
But I think, I would love to think that they're going to
Thank you, Valerie.
That they're going to take Kian out to the roundup. Because, Kian's always like, don't do gay stuff.
Oh, so you think they'll take him to the roundup?
That's what I would think would be funny if they did.
Yeah.
The Fairmont in Dallas. Oh, we shouldn't probably say that, but okay.
It is what it is.
It is what it is. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. We'll see you Monday.
See you next week. Thank you for checking out our Instagrams.